guys, it's Jen. So you're ready to try some jump board. I am here to show you a couple of exercises, and I'm going to give you a couple of ideas of why you might want to use a jump board in your Pilates workouts. So first of all, there's your jump board. They install differently on every single reformer, home reformer and studio reformer. So you'll just need to look at your instructions, but let me show you mine just so you have an idea. Okay, here it is. This one just easily slips into the end like that. Easy breezy. Okay, so back to why would you do jump board? Okay, a couple of things. First of all, if you have any injuries like knee injury, your ankles are unstable, any of that sort of stuff, and you are unable to be running like you normally would or doing plyometrics, meaning jumping up and down, this is a great alternative to get your cardio workout in. Because you're laying on your back, there's no load on your knees or your hips. It feels nice and light and springy. And it's a good way to get your cardio in without having that pounding of being in this direction. Okay, so once you get on it, you'll feel what I'm talking about. Number two, in case you need to get your heart rate workout in, you've got a heart rate monitor on your wrist, on your tricep, around your chest, wherever you are doing your heart rate monitor training. This is a great workout for that. You can do jumps and get your heart rate up to 130, 140, 150, possibly 160, depending on how quick and how heavy your springs are. So that's for you to choose, okay? So that's a fun thing. Also, think about jump board like a trampoline. So remember when you were a kid and you jumped up and down and you loved doing jumps? It's the same idea, but it's laying on your back. So it's like trampoline on your back, which is kind of fun, you know? Also, we can use all sorts of different tools, which I'll show you later. Once you get comfortable on the jump board, meaning you can use dumbbells, you can use a ball, you can throw it in the air and catch it, you can do chest presses, you can do flies. I mean, there's never ending things you can do on this jump board. There's probably 800 exercises you could do that are a little different than your regular workout. So just something to consider for future workouts. If you want to add that extra intensity or hand-eye coordination, you're going to use your tools. So feel free to bring those in anyway in the beginning, but if not, in the future, I will be making some videos for that as well. So let's get started. Today, I'm going to teach you how to use a jump board in Pilates world. So a lot of people still do not know what a jump board is. It's pretty much my favorite part of reformer classes. It's the cardio portion. So if you have one of these on your home reformer, then you're going to use it. Also, if you are not used to jump board and you are going to try it at the studio and you're feeling apprehensive, just take this quick tutorial. I'm going to give you some basics today. I'm going to give you some hints on how to do your jumps, and hopefully that will help you in your Pilates jump board journey. Okay, so here's your jump board, right? Depends on what reformer you're using. This one slips right into the front. Some of them you have to screw onto the front, just depends. So just make sure you look at the proper directions. Also, this foot bar right here needs to be right behind the jump board so that when you jump, you've got something to hit. Okay, it's just sort of like a bumper. My recommendation to you is to remove your straps, just throw them in the middle. Remember, this is called the well. If you don't know what the pieces of the reformer are, I do have a quick little tutorial in the beginning that you can go find on the page, and it'll sort of show you some of the different terminology for this stuff. So go ahead and drop that in. This particular reformer has 4 springs. So today's workout, and I'm going to do part of it with you, and then you're going to do part of it on your own if you want to keep going with this. Okay, so we're going to start out with 2 springs. Okay, so again, this workout's going to be called 2, 3, 4, and you will see why in just a moment. So also, when you're jumping, I suggest you sort of get your hair out of the way. What happens sometimes that your hair gets stuck in the springs, and you'll know when it happens in a class. So try to get your hair away from any springs at any time. It's just a helpful little tip. Okay, so we're starting out with 2 springs. I'm going to show you how to jump. And again, this is called 2, 3, 4. It's because we're going to do 5 exercises. We're going to do it on 2 springs for a minute each. then 3 springs for a minute each, and then 4 springs. Now again, I'm not going to do all of that with you today. I'm just going to show you how that works, and then what you can do at any time on your own is put your music on really loud, put a timer on for a minute each for each of these exercises. That way you can get yourself in a 10, 20, 30-minute workout, depending on how many times you want to roll with this. Okay, so go ahead and lay on your back. Again, we're doing the 2 springs here, starting. Okay, so here's what you want to feel. You're going to jump and land. What I want you to do is point your toes as you're jumping. So this is just to get comfortable, all right, so that you know what this feels like. So a couple things to consider. Same things as you learned when you did the Basic Reformer 101 with me when I taught you footwork, right? We want to have the rib cage down. We want to have the belly pulled in nice and tight. Every time we jump, I want to get my legs as straight as possible. So like I said, we would do this, say, for a minute each on each exercise. Your heart rate will come up, starting at maybe 120, 130, 140, 150, just depending on how hard you want to jump. Now, you can jump all the way to the back of the machine if you want. That'll work your quads a little bit more, but make sure you look at your form. So again, when we jump, I want the leg to look like that. I don't want to have like lazy legs. I want to jump, jump, jump. Legs will be totally straight and come back in. So let's go with one exercise. This one is called press back 1 jump. So all we're going to do is press back for 1, and then we're going to jump for the other, okay? So imagine if you had your timer on right now, you would be looking at it or set it for a minute, okay? So you would be doing 1 minute of press backs and 1 minute of jump, okay? Easy breezy. As you're doing that, I want you to, again, feel the form here in the belly, roll those shoulder blades back and down, make sure you don't hold your breath, okay? So that would be exercise number 1. You would go for 1 minute and then move on to exercise number 2, which is called running, okay? So we're gonna bring one knee up to the chest and we're gonna jump and switch legs. Pointing those toes. Try to keep your back flat on the reformer, knees up toward the chest every time you jump. Remember, you're jumping as hard as you comfortably can go on your jump board. Now, if you have a heart rate monitor around your wrist or wherever, around your tricep, you could be looking at that heart rate going up slowly but surely. And of course, take a rest if you need to. All right, so this one would be for 1 minute as well, okay? And then you would come back in. All right. Exercise number 3. Okay, think about hopscotch when you were a kid, okay? So this is sort of a hopscotch movement. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump, and we're going to take our feet to the outer edges of the jump board, and then we're going to bring them back in. So it's going to look like this, outer edges, and then back together, okay? So outer edge, point those toes each time. Again, remember, you can jump as hard as you want, depending on how strong your legs are feeling for the day. And again, trying to get our heart rate up just a little bit. Okay, go just 2 more today. And last one. Okay, come back in. Good job. So take a moment here, see, how am I feeling? Am I feeling really good? Am I gonna want to do a couple of more rounds of this today? And if you're having a lot of incredible energy, you just got home from work, maybe you want to do it 3 times. Just a suggestion. Okay, next exercise. It's called skiing. Okay, so if you're a skier, you might like this one. So abs down, drop your knees to the side, jump, switch, and then drop your knees to the other side. Okay, so this is called skiing. I'll list these in the video so you can remember what they're called. Okay, so we're trying to keep the knees together. You can always put a ball between your knees if you're having trouble with that. And that'll give you a little bit of extra challenge. And don't worry, I am going to teach you lots of exercises with toys. We'll get to that later. And last one. Okay, so again, 1 minute, right? So the last one of the 5 exercises is going to be called jump tucks. Okay, so this time we're going to aim the knees up to the chest. So we're going to jump knees to the chest and land. Okay, so it's going to look like that. We're going to go for 1 whole minute. All right, so pretend again we did it for a whole minute and come back in. Drop the knees to the side, take a little stretch here. Again, should be a little bit breathy by the time you would be finished with that first round. And again, you can do that same round of 5 exercises one time, then you're going to go a second time, and you're going to go a third time. Now, if you're a beginner to jump board, drop the knees to the other side. You could stay on this same spring load, okay? We're just on 2 springs. Do it 3 times. Or what you can do if you want to start cranking it up, making it a little more challenging, the first round do 2 springs. Or if you want to make it a little bit more challenging and you've done jump board before and you've got more in you, then you're going to do the first round on 2 springs for a minute each. You're going to do the next round on 3 springs, and then you'll do the final round on 4 springs. Okay, so there's lots of different things you can do on this jump board. This is just one example that you can do it timed. You can do jumping in between your regular reformer exercises, whatever you want. The world is your oyster. Anyway, let's take one more jump just for fun. Okay, ready? Jump, bring the knees up to the chest and land. Boom. And hit that subscribe button. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon.